Did Jungkook of BTS really visit this tiny restaurant and leave behind a signature that's now making headlines across the world? Armies are going wild trying to find out where it happened and why he chose this spot. Watch until the end and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because what you're about to discover will make every BTS fan's heart race. Have you ever imagined walking into a quiet restaurant, only to realize that the world's biggest superstar had just been sitting there, only minutes before you? What if that star was none other than BTS's Jungkook, the man whose voice, charisma, and kindness have captured millions of hearts around the globe? This isn't a dream, it actually happened. And what Jungkook did before leaving the restaurant has left fans in disbelief. It all started on an ordinary afternoon when a small, cozy restaurant, the kind of place you'd never expect a global icon to walk into, suddenly became the center of worldwide attention. Locals were shocked when a familiar figure, dressed in a simple hoodie, cap, and mask, stepped inside quietly with only a few staff members accompanying him. There were no flashing cameras, no screaming fans, just a peaceful private moment that turned into a viral story within hours. The restaurant owner didn't even realize at first who the mysterious guest was. "He was so polite and quiet," the owner reportedly said. "He ordered modestly, thanked everyone, and even smiled under his mask." It was only after Jungkook had finished his meal, paid, and left that something remarkable was noticed: a small piece of paper with his signature. Yes, Jungkook had signed his name and left a short, heartfelt message for the restaurant. "Thank you for the delicious meal. It was wonderful." Within minutes, that single piece of paper became one of the most talked about things on the internet. Fans started investigating the details, the layout of the tables, the color of the walls, the food on the plate glimpsed in leaked photos, all trying to figure out which restaurant it was. Some claimed it was a family-run spot known for traditional Korean dishes. Others suggested it was a newly opened fusion cafe. But one thing was certain: Jungkook's signature had turned an ordinary restaurant into a legendary destination overnight. The restaurant's social media exploded with thousands of messages from fans all over the world. "Is this where Jungkook ate? Can I see the autograph? Do you still have the same menu?" Armies began planning trips just to stand where Jungkook had once sat. Some even brought flowers, small gifts, and letters to leave behind, turning the humble eatery into something of a pilgrimage site for BTS fans. And here's where it gets even more mysterious. Just a few hours after the news broke, several fans spotted what seemed to be the same outfit Jungkook wore in another city. Could it be that he was traveling under the radar, stopping by hidden spots, leaving small traces for fans to discover? Or was this simply a lucky coincidence? One of those rare moments when a global superstar just wants to enjoy a quiet meal like everyone else. The emotional impact on armies has been intense. Many took to social media to express their feelings, saying things like, "He could have gone anywhere, but he chose a local place. That's so humble of him. And it makes me love him even more knowing he supports small businesses." Others pointed out how this moment shows Jungkook's genuine nature, his desire to stay connected to normal life despite his overwhelming fame. But perhaps what makes this story so touching is not just the autograph or the mystery, it's what it represents. Jungkook has always been known for his thoughtfulness. Whether it's through his music, his live streams, or his quiet gestures toward fans, he has a way of showing appreciation without grand displays. Leaving that signature wasn't just about leaving proof of his presence. It was a silent act of gratitude, a message that says, "I see you. I appreciate you." People who were lucky enough to be nearby described the atmosphere as surreal. "It was like time stopped," said one diner who reportedly saw Jungkook from across the room. "He had this calm aura, and even though I recognized him instantly, I didn't want to disturb him. He just seemed peaceful." That peace, however, didn't last long. Once the news broke, the restaurant's phone wouldn't stop ringing, and journalists began camping outside just to get a glimpse of the now famous signature. Some speculate that Jungkook might have been filming or preparing for something special. After all, he's known for his spontaneous yet meaningful appearances. Could this visit have been part of a secret project? A documentary moment? Or maybe even just a small act of kindness to highlight local businesses? Whatever the reason, fans agree that there's always a deeper meaning behind everything Jungkook does. Photos began circulating online, blurry, taken from afar, but unmistakably showing a tall figure in a black hoodie, sitting near the window quietly eating. The photo's authenticity remains debated, but ARMYs can't help but feel emotional just imagining the moment. "It's not about the photo," one fan wrote. "It's about the feeling, knowing he's out there, living like a normal person, finding peace in simple things." As the mystery deepened, fans began to exchange theories and clues. Some noticed that the plates and decor matched a restaurant located in the outskirts of Seoul, while others believed it was somewhere in Busan, Jungkook's hometown. If it truly was Busan, the emotional meaning becomes even greater. Could Jungkook have been revisiting a place from his past, reliving old memories before diving into new projects? And then came the twist that nobody expected. The restaurant owner decided to frame the autograph and hang it on the wall, right near the entrance. Visitors now line up daily just to see it, some even taking photos and leaving heartfelt notes like, "Jungkook was here, and so were we." The restaurant has since experienced a massive surge in customers, with reservations booked weeks in advance. The owner expressed gratitude, saying, "I didn't know one small act could bring so much happiness to so many people." What's even more fascinating is how Jungkook himself has remained completely silent about the event. No Weverse post, no livestream mention, nothing. It's almost as if he wanted to leave this as a quiet moment between himself and whoever stumbled upon it. That silence only adds to the magic, making fans feel as though they're part of an intimate secret shared with Jungkook himself. Now every day, more people visit the restaurant, hoping to feel the same warmth and calm that Jungkook might have felt sitting there. The chair he used has become something like a sacred spot. Some fans even admit they cried upon seeing it, overwhelmed by the idea that their idol, someone so distant and yet so human, was there, enjoying a simple meal like anyone else. And that's the beauty of this story. In a world where fame often separates idols from reality, Jungkook's quiet visit reminds everyone that he's still that humble boy from Busan who loves good food and kind people. He didn't need an entourage or special treatment, just a meal, a pen, and a heart full of gratitude. So ARMY, what do you think? Could this be a sign of something new coming from Jungkook? Or was it just a rare, beautiful moment of normalcy in the whirlwind of fame? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss any updates about this unbelievable story. Because if there's one thing we know for sure, it's that wherever Jungkook goes, he leaves behind not just his signature, but a lasting impression on every heart he touches. But the story didn't end there. As night fell over the city, the glow from the small restaurant's windows painted the quiet street in gold. Inside, the framed autograph glimmered under the soft lights, the neat, familiar handwriting that millions of people across the world would recognize instantly. Beneath Jungkook's name, the simple message, "Thank you for the delicious meal," carried a weight that went far beyond the paper it was written on. It wasn't just ink. It was gratitude. It was presence. It was history. Within hours, photos of the signature began circulating across X, formerly Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The hashtag Jungkook at the restaurant trended globally in less than 30 minutes. Fans from different countries, Korea, Indonesia, Japan, Brazil, and the US shared emotional posts and videos. One ARMY from Indonesia tweeted, "Imagine sitting in the same chair as Jungkook. I think I'd cry before I even order." Another wrote, "He doesn't realize how much happiness something so small can bring to us. That's why we love him." Even local media outlets began showing up outside the restaurant. Reporters stood on the street, microphones in hand, describing how a place that once served only a few dozen customers a day was now surrounded by crowds of fans, each hoping for a glimpse of that single signature. Some fans arrived with flowers. Others brought small BTS photo cards, which they gently placed